What's happening there, YouTube? Genji here, and with only 2 chapters left to go, I think we'll finally be finishing up Kaizen, A Factory Story. Will David end up in the sales position he was supposed to have from the beginning? Will he end up with Tomoe or Mayumi? And will somebody finally explain to him what they mean when they say his assembly lines are unusual? There's only one way to find out, and that's by hopping back in. So, let's get started. Okay, let's see. Chapter 6, An Old Friend, in Okayama in fall of 1988.
Well, well, look who's back.
Later that year, Matsuzawa decided to make a big investment in the rapidly growing games and amusement sector. To build a new chain of amusement centers across the country, they tapped none other than Morita-san. I thought it was a great choice. Yosuke was smart and full of energy. When Oyama-san asked if I wanted to help get things off the ground, I agreed immediately. And even though it was clear at this point that I didn't need the help, Tomoe ensured that she was able to join us.
You've got quite the operation going here already.
That's a vote of confidence from headquarters, isn't it?
Well, they're expecting big returns, so it's a weight on my shoulders too. That's why it'll be great having you help out. Designing and building our own chain of amusement centers from scratch is a big job. But that's what makes it so exciting. You ready to do this?
I was born ready.
I was born ready.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, let's get down to business. The business of fun.
You mean funny business? I guess you can't have an amusement center without claw machines, huh? They're really a staple for a reason. Seeing all the fun prizes piled up inside and the feeling you could grab one is difficult to resist. That's true. When you see all the cute things you might be able to get, it makes you want to give it a try. But doesn't it take a lot of skill to be successful? I mean, at least for me, I never seem to be able to operate it effectively. Same here. I've never won, even though I still try them all the time. That's because they're rigged against you. You only get full strength out of the claws on so many runs. Let's see. Oh, we're just building the claw of the claw machine. Okay. So this is going to be about symmetry. Because we're repeating the same design across 4 different rotations. And our parts aren't even lined up. One is facing to the right and one is facing up. So we're gonna have to weld and then rotate and then weld and then rotate. So we should be able to do this, I would assume it's gonna be done in 4 steps. Although, you cannot rotate in this game, so I rescind that previous expectation. So we're actually gonna have to translate. Well, you can't rotate, but you can flip. So let's see, let's grab an arm. Arm A and arm B. Well, arm B is not gonna do anything. Right, because if we do a rotate on B. No, it does have a back, okay. Everything has a back. Good to know. So if we rotate, let me just start welding some things together and rotating things. It's gonna be more helpful than just staring at this and trying to imagine everything beforehand. So I need to get this edge to line up with this edge, even though they're 90 degrees offset. Oh. 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 These are not meant to go together. These are the same piece, but one is meant for the vertical orientation and one is meant for the horizontal orientation. So what you're actually, the challenge here is to attach this to itself So you'd have to do something, you'd have to attach this here. And then... go ahead and set this back a bit so that I can play. So we'd weld this here. And then, obviously we don't want to weld this here because now it's the wrong way around. But if we flip it on B and then flip it on A, now this is in the right position to connect to this side. Interesting. So we actually need... let's get rid of these. We need this to be slightly off alignment. This would stay here. So we need this to be slightly off alignment and then pushed in. So we actually need more arms. We'll take a C. And then we would start by, like, C pushing. Arm C, we push it in twice, like that, and then rotating B. And then rotating A. And then rotating B again. And then rotating A again. Oh, A's not connected anymore. Is that right? No. Oh. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to rotate that back into place. So not this. We're gonna need something to grab this, shuttle it over to this side, and then drop it off here for a weld. This is devious. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I don't think we're gonna need two of these then. So we're gonna have to put something on a track. Yeah, each of these arms needs to be two away because they need to be able to fit the two pieces in between. So like here and here. Well, I mean, they have two spaces here, so they're technically 1, 2, 3, 4 away because this space is always taken up by the arm at the default position. So we need something to... we need to move these around, so let's put both these on tracks. And where are they going to live? Where are the pieces going to live? I guess here? They can't be here, because this space is going to be used to transfer the pieces between B and A, so this space needs to be clear. So B's going to start by grabbing a horizontal piece. So let's start this here, I suppose. And we'll take B and move it. Let's go after, and then we can... oh, this is pushing, actually. Wrong movement. This one. I will continue to mess that up. So we're gonna go negative to here, and we'll start A like this, ready to grab. So that's our first movement, is to hand off a piece to A. Although, just thinking optimization, this could probably be here. And this can probably be here. And then B can B doesn't even have to be involved in that first move. So A can actually start here by grabbing a piece and sliding it down 1. Oh, this is backwards. So we can start on undo. So let's go 2 away. So we can start this on this side instead. No. There we go. And it needs to be... What did I say? One more. It needs to be here. So then this would start here. And we'll start this here, and then we'll put another welder here. So we have a vertical and a horizontal welder. So A can start by grabbing this piece, moving it down, and then extending. Right, grab, weld. And then B will need to flip. No. I mean, we'll have to do that eventually, but we actually need to flip this piece. So then A will retract. Oh, turn grab off. I want to go back. All right, there we go. So then A will retract 1, slide up 1, flip. And then we can start B here. So B can then flip. We do both at the same time? No. There we go. Okay, we figured it out. Okay, so now A will... Let's copy this. Slide down 1. Aha! We have a new problem. Do we push it backwards then? So do we start this here and have, so A moves this into place and then extends 1. There we go. And now A can pull that back in to its original position. And then B can slide over here and flip this around. And we do the same thing, but we have to flip the pieces over. So now... So after B flips, B can retract. With no grab. And then slide over to here. With no grab. And extend again. And then B can flip. There we go. And now we can start over with A grabbing another piece. And so if we're going for lowest cost, this is all we're going to need. Obviously, we could duplicate this and then repeat these 2 arms and grabbers and welders on this side, and do 2 bands at the same time for the lowest number of steps. But since we're optimizing generally for costs, not generally, this whole playthrough I've done nothing but optimize for cost. So we're going to optimize for cost here. So we're going to stick with the 2-arm solution and just blow our step budget out. So while A's pulling this back, B flips. So now A can go up 1. Grab another piece. And now we can basically repeat this. No, we can't because A needs to do all this backwards. So A's gonna flip. Like so, and then we can do this over again. Copy, paste, down, push, weld, go back, grab. I think B's supposed to actually be flipping this, if I remember correctly, yeah. So before this step, we need to put B back in position again. So after B flips, Now we get B to retract. And then slide over, no grab. And then extend. Like that, there we go. Okay, so now when we get to B flip, do we actually will skip this and just have B flip? Take this grab off and then do B flip here. That looks right. And then A will slide down and extend. There we go. We can't flip this, but I guess this is the way that they show you that it has to be in this orientation when you're done. So I think that's all for the horizontal axis. So to reduce steps, I guess we could start with doing the reverse side of the vertical axis first. So then we could have B go into position, flip this, and then weld it on here. The only issue I think is that we need this to be in range of A so that it can perform a flip operation on. So I think this actually needs to be like here. I think it won't interfere with anything. Yes, let's make some more room in our timeline. And then we'll have B, once B's done flipping here, we'll have B pull back again. Like so. And then slide over one, B, no grab. And then do a flip. And then slide over another, like 3, something like that. There we go. And that should be a weld, right? Yep. And then slide forward again with no grab. Grab another piece, flip it. We need A to go up in the actually no, hang on. Delete. B goes to that position, but in the meantime, A needs to be there as well. So A's gonna go up, no grab, arm A, here. And then A's gonna do a flip. I guess I can do it here. So we get a weld. A's gonna flip, there we go. And now B can pull back 1. Back 1, there we go. And slide over, copy, paste. And then push 1. And there's one side. So now A's gotta flip that over so that we can do the other side. So after A does a flip, A can slide down. Window grab here. Then A flips. A slides back 1. And while that's happening, B can be getting back in position over here. So we'll have B, not that one, but this one. Arm B with no grab, slide back over, grab this. That can go here, so now B can slide this to here. And we get a weld, boom. And then A can actually slide this down. one, while B's going to grab another piece. B, here. No, because A needs to be doing the flip on this, so we'll have B with no grab, there we go. Do this while A with no grab goes up here, and then A needs to do... There we go, like that. And then now B can take it away, yeah. So B, retract one actually. Move that there. B, move back. And then here. And then push. And we're done. It's definitely not a quick process. But it is cheap. And actually, we probably have a whole bunch of extra track here, so we're going to be able to cut down a little bit of extra, spend a little cost on this, but we'll have to go through the follow-up cutscene first. We'll come back to it. You've really never been successful with a claw machine, ever? No, the toy always seems to drop at the last second. I know, right? That gives me an idea. What if you built a claw machine that was easy to operate? Wouldn't customers like that much better? Customers would like it, sure, but what about us? If our machines were too generous, we wouldn't make any money. Oh, right. I guess you have to think that way if you want to operate an amusement center. Reminds me of Pachinko in a way. Everything reminds you of Pachinko Tomoe. So yeah, we're at the lowest cost right now, but we can actually cut some more off. I don't know if it'd actually be enough to knock us down to the next square, but let's go ahead and just see how much of this we need. We actually need. So I don't think B's ever going to need to go past this point, so we can, at the very least, cut this down. And it shouldn't ever need to go past this point, so we can cut another 1, 2, 3 squares off. So 1, 2, 3. So B just needs to go from here to here. We just watch it through once to make sure. Yep, and similarly, we can cut 2 off of this. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then I don't think A will ever need to go past this point, so we can cut off another 1, 2, 3. There we go. So yeah, we come in actually a little bit under the lowest cost, 46 to 37, perfect. And the lowest area, and we're at the limit of time, so I think that's probably the perfectly efficient cost build. On to Capsule Machine. I see. So when you buy one, you get a random figure? That's right. They make them in sets, usually with a certain theme. Characters from a show, types of animals or insects, scale models of different things. Really anything. If you want a complete set, you might have to endure getting several of the same ones before getting the one you hoped for. It can be frustrating, but it also makes the triumph of getting the one you wanted all the sweeter. It sounds like you've done this at least once. Maybe once or twice, yeah. This is where it all started. All these gacha games got their start here in the Capsule Machine. Alright, so we're going to do a lot of internal drilling on this one. So we're going to have to flip this onto a cutter. Because we're going to have to take out nearly all of it. So we have to hollow out the center. We have to hollow out this chunk. And then we also have to take off the bottom right-hand corner to fit in the chute. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of flipping here. Oh, and then we have to construct this piece out of a piece of metal, a handle, and a coin slot. Only this goes here, and then this goes on top. Okay, so we need to chunk out 2 from here. Oh boy, alright, so this is gonna have to move by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're definitely gonna need a track here. And we're almost certainly gonna need a track here. And the first thing we're gonna have to do is flip this over onto a cutter. So let's drop an arm in. I kinda wanna do this facing up, just so I can see it. So if we flip this and then move A over, and then flip it again. Now we can do this, we can visually see where we need to be. Not that it's necessary, but it makes it easier for me to program it. So we're gonna grab B. So we need to go down 2, right? 1, 2. And we need to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this basically needs to be at the bottom. So once A flips, then A needs to scoot out of the way. So we're gonna turn off the grab. And move this all the way over here. Because now B is going to be going... Huh? There we go. I guess A is just going to be in the way, so we have to wait a step. I guess we could start here. We can do something like this. And then I guess we're also going to want this to be... Yeah, we're probably going to have to do this on both sides anyway, so let's flip this. Oh, it has a track on the back, okay. I was worrying over nothing. Okay, so then A can get out of the way. You can go this way. Kind of want to move B back a bit more. Like this. And then B can pull in one. Go down and then back up. And then pull in one. And then go all the way back down. And pull in one more time. Go all the way back up. And now we need A to come flip this. So we'll have A at the same time. No grab. Come and flip this. And then move. Well, I guess it's not super important because B is going to be extending it here. 3, And then moving back up. Okay, so there's all the cuts we need for the interior. We also need to chop this lower right-hand corner out. So we'll pull B back. Not that, but this. Well, B's not gonna be able to cut that from this side. B's gonna have to, or it's gonna have to be flipped first. So we'll do that. And then down, and then A can move back in. Unless we take care of this while it's flipped, that might be a better idea. So we'll do this, and then this. This is gonna be this corner down here, right? Can B even do that? Well, it should be able to, but we're gonna have to be a little tricky about it. So come down, B, come down, and then A actually slide in with no grab to here, and then do a flip. And then, okay, so now this is gonna be down here. And now B's gonna have to, with no grab, slide back up to here, and then B's gonna have to flip. There we go. So now B can go, we need to take it all out, so now B can go up. Well, first let's get A out of the way. A, no grab, U, GTFO. While B goes down one. Not grab. Well, yeah, grab. Because we need to get the rest of this out of here, so go this way. Well, no, actually. Up only to here, right? Because this square needs to stay in here. So just to there, and then pull back one. I'm sorry, extend one. Oh crap, that's as far as we'll go. I think A can take care of the rest, right? Yeah. So then slide down one, just to give A some room here. And then A can slide in with no grab. This is definitely going to be over budget, or well, not over budget, but way too many steps than necessary, because there's going to be a lot of stuff you can trim out of this for efficiency, but we don't care about that. So we're going to grab this and go forward one. There we go. Now, let's do that after we retract one. Or extend one. There we go. And then move over. We don't have any extra bits we have to grab and destroy later. So now we'll pull back. One. Oh, bother. Hang on. Okay, so let's take A. Boom. There. Done. So I think that's our final shape for the main chassis. So now we have a whole bunch of stuff that we need to put in range of the grabbers without contacting the main chassis while it's being flipped around and cut. Which I think is going to be a problem, because I think this gets slid pretty much everywhere that we've got. Like, this whole work area is full. Let's see, A never goes to this point, so we can move this over 1. So now we can put something, we've got 1 tile here, we can put something to grab next, like the... poop, it does get pushed out of the way. When does that go there? Oh, well... That's avoidable, we just have to tell A to pull up first. Move everything forward. Yep. No grab. Okay, we messed something else up. The next time we need A. We actually need to tell it to extend 1 first. I'm gonna take all this, scooch it up by 1, and then tell A to extend 1. There we go. Oh, and then we have to tell it to go back again. Or just don't tell it to go all the way. I think we just send it here. Okay. So now we can grab this and get it into place. So Matsuzawa's in the top right, so A needs to... We need to flip this twice without cutting it. So A needs to go back 1. And then forward. One more, so B actually needs to retract. But no grab, needs to go back 1. And now A can flip. And then B can flip. Ah. There we go. Good enough. Well, kind of. Because we need this to not be wrapped around the cutter. So actually what we need to do is have A extend. And then slide over this direction. What happens if B flips this right now? That works. And then we need A to go somewhere and do a flip. It's just a matter of where A needs to be to flip this properly. Well, if we have A going forward 3, let's have A go forward 2, and then let's have B retract by 1 with a grab. That way when A flips, now it's back where it needs to be, okay. The problem here though is we need the clear piece here to be in its proper position before this flips. So we actually need B to go all the way back. And then get out of the way before A flips. So no grab. B needs to go away. And then A, we're gonna have to move this into place first, but I just want to test this flip. So A's going to go back. One with no, with grab actually. And then flip. Yeah. So before we do this move here, we need to have A put this in position. Just trying to think how we can reuse this. All right, so before we do this flip, we're going to delete this. We're going to slide A over with no grab all the way over here to grab this, and then slide this back into position and scoot it forward one. No grab, back. No grab, left one, and then a flip. There we go. Now, ideally, we would have this in... We would have this assembly already done down here by some other means. So we would have this put here. Maybe we spawn this like right here and then have something just grab this and put in position. So maybe we need a third arm. So I don't see how we could possibly do these pieces with these existing two arms. There's just no more workspace available that's not taken up by this when it's moving around and being cut. So we're probably gonna need another arm down here to take care of. We can probably do it with just one arm to do the cutting for all this. But we will probably need another cutter. We may be able to start this down here and then start with a flip to do all the same cutting we did, but reverse, so that this is on the bottom side. We get this down here, do a reverse, and then we can reuse this cutter to cut this. But before we go remaking everything we've done so far, I want to just make what we've done so far work. So we're gonna grab another track. Maximum length track. Put all of these things in reach so that they can be grabbed. And we've gotten to this point here without displacing this, so that's good. I guess we just put a cutter here, cut. Let's see, this can extend all the way to here, so we can actually put this stuff here. Although we do need a riveter. We put this here and here. And then put a riveter here. Or here. Yeah, that should be fine. Once we get this assembled, then we need to just grab... This needs to be able to extend far enough to push this into this position, which it can. So once this is all set... I just need to make sure that this riveter, when we push this into this riveter... Well, it won't matter, because we like to push this 1, 2, 3 times. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before we hit this cutter. Okay, so that's fine. So, now we need to rewind and take care of this assembly down here while all this is going on up here. So let's go back to the beginning. We'll start C here. So we'll push C forward. 1. Oop, not B, but C forward 1. 2. C minus 2. Minus 3, actually. And then slide C over with no grab to grab this piece. No, I guess to make this simpler, we could put this here first. So slide it over here to grab this piece. Extend C by 2. Slide C over 1. 2. And then extend once. Then retract with no grab all the way. Slide over 1. Guess it doesn't really matter. Then slide back. Then extend 1, 2. Weld. Pull back. 1, 2. Slide over 2. Slide back with no grab. Grab this piece. Extend. One, 2, 3. Extend. Retract. Grab. Slide 2. Forward 1. And then C needs to be ready to move this into position. So I'm actually gonna grab this here. And then we'll pull C back by 1. And we'll wait until the main chassis is ready to be flipped. So the earliest we can move this into position is here. So on this step, we'll have C move this all the way to here. Yeah, it's gonna have 2 on either side. 1, 2, 1, 2. So here, and then extend. 1, 2, 3. So that's its final position there. And then with no grab, we'll pull back. Well, we don't have to pull back at all. We just need to slide over with no grab to here. Then pull back. -1. Yeah. Although we now have a problem of how this is going to get attached. We could use this riveter here. C could pull this into position. If we don't put this in yet, C could pull this into position to have this riveter rivet this on. So maybe let's push these A steps back a bit. So A do a flip. Because we also need something to rivet this on, now that I'm looking at it. We don't have any welders. This has to be welded. Well, no, it can be riveted. But it has to be riveted from below. So this has to be riveted from above. This has to be riveted from below. This is going to be integral because if we have to add another riveter or welder, it's going to balloon the cost. If we can reuse our riveters here. The only thing I might not be able to reuse is... well, we probably have to have a riveter, a below riveter for this. So if we're going to try to reuse... if we're going to try to use this to rivet this onto the chassis here, then this doesn't need to be here. This actually needs to be put here. This will just barely work. But that means we need to get this out of the way, which I don't think we're gonna be able to do. Unless we do put it in place and then just flip it again. What happens if A slides here and then flips again? We're one place out of whack. Well, not necessarily. Let's rewind. What if we start everything over 1? There we go. And so what we're trying to do here, yeah, C could flip it. Yep, we would need to put this in the right spot. Okay, we can make this work. So let's go back. So we're putting this in the right spot, and then we need to pull C back. So instead of doing this move here, let's get rid of CCC. So we need C to pull back, and then C to move over. 1, 2, 3. And this flips, A flips. Ah, damn it. Okay, so we actually need it to be here. This is a mess. But we're gonna do it as cheaply as possible. All right, so we flip this. Problem is when we flip this, yeah, it's a new problem. When we flip this, it's gonna be in the way. And we don't have enough room to slide this under. But we haven't used this yet. We will eventually, I think. So we can slide this out of the way for now. So what we'll need to do is, when we flip this and flip this, A needs to pull back 1. So we'll delete this. A minus 1. So what's the last move that C makes? C puts that there. Right, yeah, grabs it, moves it there to get it out of the way so that this flip can happen. So after C gets there, C can go over A, B, C, no grab. Go to here, and then extend here. So then A's gonna flip, and flip, and then C's gonna flip first. Oh, no. A needs to flip first. There we go. So we'll have C extend 1 at the same time, but no grab. Yep. Then that can flip. All right. So now C needs to move this into position. Good grief, we're at 43 steps already. So C pull back. No grab. C slide over, no grab. C slide over again with grab. Then A push forward. We're gonna have to reposition this stuff, but that's okay. A go C, A, B, C. Go back 1. There we go. Now we're gonna weld. Ka-chunk. So now we need to reverse all of that. So we can have C move over 1 with grab. So before we flip this again, this needs to be put back in place. So A, retract. With no grab. A, slide over. With no grab. And then move forward 1 more time. And then get out of the way. So we need to flip this twice to get this back in position. So after C does this, there we go. So now C can slide back. Woof. 2, flip, extend to here. Okay, A's doing something here already. So on this step, A can be moving forward. Oh, wrong move. A can be moving forward with no grab. 3, then A can flip. There we go. So now everything's in place. We have the weld here. We just need a rivet on top and a rivet on the bottom. So A, extend twice, weld. A, withdraw. A, slide to the left one with no grab. No, more than that. And then 1, 2. Good grief. 57 steps. Madness. Watch, this won't even be like... This will be 2 steps away from the bottom cost on the histogram still. I still would have liked to do 1 less river at the very least. I've loaded the machine with test capsules. Shall we try it out? Put the coins in and spin it like this. Alright, I'll give it a few spins. Why don't you try it too, Tomoe? Sure, here I go. Okay, now let's see what you got. Let's see, I have a strip of paper that says A, and the other 2 I got also say A. 3 of the same ones, huh? What are the odds of that? I've got an A, and a B, and a C. That's great, you completed the whole set. Nice going. Yeah, too bad this kind of thing only happens to me when it doesn't count. Nope, we are off the chart on costs. Yes, alright, perfect. And off the chart on time. Incredible. Alright, well, we accomplished what we set out to do at least, so let's go back to the menu. Games and life.
That claw machine was so unfair. Yosuke's tips didn't help at all.
Do you think the machine was unfair? Or do you still need more practice?
I don't know. I've never been good at that sort of thing.
Come on, maybe you should keep trying. When you play something repeatedly, you get a better idea of how it works. It's not like I knew what I was doing the first time I played Pachinko.
What got you to try Pachinko in the first place anyway?
Well, it's a funny story. A year or so ago, I was on a date with someone and it was a total failure. He said he'd play some Pachinko before heading home. For some reason, I followed him inside to the parlor. Something about sitting in front of the machine made me feel better. It's like it filled my mind so I didn't have to think about what just happened. And wouldn't you know it? I won pretty big that night.
Big? Like how big?
Big? Big like how big?
Enough to boost my spirits, that's for sure.
I bet.
I've never told anyone about this before. It's a little embarrassing.
What happened to the guy?
No idea. I never saw him again.
RC car. So these little cars are all meant to race on a track together? Come on, David, surely you've heard of RC cars. That's right, they're going to be a special course built just for these cars. Each car has a small camera on the front that transmits to a corresponding monitor. So when a player sits down in front of the monitor and starts driving their car, it feels like they're really there. Wow, that's a really clever idea. I wonder if you could do more things remotely like this. It does feel futuristic, doesn't it? I'm sure there are all kinds of applications. Maybe one day I could go to work remotely. Let's not go too crazy there. Return to office, Tomoe. Okay, so we have a chassis. Oh, this is slot car racing. I did this as a kid. My parents are thrilled that we spent so much money getting these RC cars and all of the controllers and different wheels and greases and all the little accessories, and then I just fell out of interest with it. It all just sat in a tackle box somewhere unused. 4 tires. Okay, so we're going to be doing some sliding. The tires are omnidirectional. Okay, so we'll have to flip this to get the tires on the other side. That makes sense. And then a spoiler in the back. So we're going to have to do the same principle as last time. We have to flip the chassis onto a cutter. So we're going to, at the very least, need a track with an arm. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this dimension's here. We need this cut out here. So let's see what happens if we flip A now. We want it there, right? So we flip it, boom. Push forward. 2. No, we definitely don't want the wheels all the way up here. Well, maybe. Maybe like here. But we'll get there when we get there. All right, so push forward 2, and then slide over 1, 2, 3. And then pull back 1. Slide over. Pull back 1 again. Excuse me. Copy paste. Like so. And then we'll slide A forward 2 with no grab. I'm sorry, backwards 2. And then we'll do our flip. Good enough. Although, before we do that flip, we need this to flip onto this. So this needs to be put in position first. Let's see, we do not go to the end of the track, so we can pull this back by at least 1 without messing up anything. So we can leave this here. We don't even, let's not even slide this back yet. So if we flip this now, whoop, so we need to move this forward 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll continue to put this in the future. So we'll slide this, no grab, over to here. Grab. And go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then no grab, retract 1. Slide back to here and then flip 3. There we go. So now we're gonna need a riveter to put these tires on. Can we do this with only 1 riveter? No, because we also need to weld the spoiler on the back. So at the very least, we're gonna need a welder. Oh, I just noticed we have to cut the wheel wells out. Oops. I thought they just went on the side like that. A very wide stance on the car. That's okay. Once we get this attached, we can flip it around still. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. Okay, so now we need to get some of these wheel wells cut out. So we're gonna need to pull A back 1. And slide forward, and then slide back again with no grab. And then slide forward again. 1, 2. The main problem is that I actually need the back one cut first. Because my idea is, in order to rivet this in. Although, what happens if I flip this right now? This is 4 wide, so it's actually not a place I could cut this. Okay, so we're gonna have to do the wheel wells first before we put this on. So let's go back. Let's take all this out. Take all this out. So before we do this, or this, hell, before we even do this, before we do this flip, let's put this all the way in the back. So we'll start by... Ooh. Yeah, that's a problem. We can't actually get a cut. Unless we do pull everything down one, maybe? Now I can get that side. But I can't get that side. That's so mean. Dang, everything go back to where you were. Oh, we're gonna have to have another cutter. That's all there is to it. So we'll start by, I guess, pulling in one. Unless we just start it like that. We pull this in one, and we start this here. And then we move... Move this forward like so. And then we flip A. Move forward one, and then flip A again. Boom. So now we need to move A back to the beginning with no grab. So that when we do this, all of this lines up. So let's slide this back here. We go here, slide this forward. Ooh, hang on. There we go. So now we need to extend one, grab this guy. Slide him forward 4, right? Oh, no, we gotta go all the way up. What if we just put this here and save us this step? So we're gonna go here and then slide this forward to here. Because it needs 1, 2, 3 in front and 2 in the back. 1, 2, 3 in the front and then 2 in the back. Okay. So then we'll slide with no grab. Slide A forward here. And then rotate. Oh. Had this guy misaligned. So we do need this up one. My mistake. Flip. We do it a flip. Okay. So now, if I extend A to its max, I can go back to get a weld on that tire, and then go back another 2 and get that weld there. And now, how am I gonna get this front tire on here? I'm gonna have to go forward one with no grab. I guess back one. Then go back to here. There we go. So now I need to cut these other 2 tire wells. So I need to flip the car. With no grab, go back 2. Pull, 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 pull. Forward 1, 2. Back. Flip. Like so. Oh no, I need another arm to flip this. All that effort I went through to try to avoid the second arm, and I still need it. I don't have a way to get those wheel wells up top. Because if I put an arm, a second arm in, I do not need the second cutter. So all that extra fidgeting to get that second cutter in there was for naught. Okay, well, knowing that then, let's delete it all. Let's go back to the beginning. Well, let's go back to the beginning from here. Delete it all, restart. Okay, so we do not need this. But we will need an arm with at least a 2-length piece of track. But not here, because I need to be able to flip this car into this position, so probably here. Something like this. The only thing that's stopping me from being able to use this cutter on both sides of this car is that A can't extend far enough to hit both. Right, so if I send this all the way, I'm still 1 short. So I would need B in a position to move this up by 1. Which, at the moment, it is not in that position, in a position to do that. But we still might be able to do this if we get this out of the way first. So let's start by, let's cut this wheel well. So let's go forward here. And flip and go forward. So there's the wheel wells for that side. And go up 1. And flip. Extend. No grab. There we go. 1. Retract. 1. Extend. Oh, what? Somehow he made this not line up. There we go. X, retract. Okay, we need this to be flipped. Except this is going to be backwards now because I'm cutting towards the front of the car. Yeah, so it should be fine. We just need A to go forward one more. There we go. So before we do this final flip now, we'll move the flip out of the way. Or just delete it. Before we do this flip, we gotta get A to position the cockpit, or I guess the camera, in place. So no grab. Go all the way back. Extend one. Go all the way forward. Lead 3 in the front, right? Yeah, and then 2 in the back. So then we, with no grab, go back 1. Slide forward to here, and then flip. There we go. Okay, and then we've got B. B needs to, let's get this out of the way, because B needs to be somewhere that when it's fully extended, it can push this car into this cutter. So this may not be the proper spawns point for this. Let's get rid of this. Because when B comes into play, B needs to be able to rotate this, flip it over, and it also needs to be able to pull this up one tile and then push it forward 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So this is where B needs to be. So when we get to here, we need this to be somewhere that A can grab it, so that can be here. So we'll have this step, and then A will go back with no grab all the way down. Slide over. Pull this out. Push it forward to here. I forget if this is the right position for it, but we can finagle it later. So we'll turn this off. Go back 1. Slide over, no grab here, and then we do our flip. There we go. Okay. The only problem now is that this is the way of this working. adding that extra 1, 2, 3 track is not saving us any money over just having the second cutter to begin with. Well, so we got this. We'll start B here. So now A can slide this back to here, get a weld. Slide it back one more time, get a weld. Of course. Like so, then slide forward again. Wait, what? Oh, we're at a track. So we flip, grab off, go back, then go forward here. All right, now we flip again. Bring her forward to here. No, to here. Extend as far as possible. Now B. Where can we get this? So once A is clear here, B can actually slide down. No grab. A. Here, let's change the order of this. So A, no grab. Oh. No, A doesn't need to get out of the way. B, grab it, then slide forward. B, 2. The spoiler is not going to be an issue. We can get around it. So then B -2. B1. B forward 1, then B flip. No, then A flip. Okay, maybe the spoiler will be an issue. Which is not the end of the world, and we can go back to where we staple it on and just skip this step. So I'll grab everything after this. Move it up. Now that we do have to adjust everything by 1 now. Oh, no. We need that. We don't need this. Let's just move this back 1. We can get it in there eventually. So we do that. B, for some reason, is now not aligned. I'm not sure why. There we go. So A, where are you supposed to be, buddy? Let's get you there. So no grab. It's definitely not there. It might be there. There we go. So now B, repeat this again. Copy, paste. So B flip. We just have to remember to put this the right way around before we put the spoiler on. So B, bring this down to where A can grab it again. Then A, pull back to here, while B scoots out of the way with no grab. And we'll do A, slide forward, chunk, get a weld, flip it, got a weld, flip it, and now we need to double flip this to get this back in the position to put a spoiler on it. It's actually, if we don't have A, flip it here. We'll just bring A backwards to here. B. No grab. Here, B flip. Yep, lights to the front, camera facing forward. Perfect, okay. So now B, GTFO. And then A, slide on back to, oh, oop, okay. We're one shy. Now we don't have to add an extra step. So what we can do is while B is flipping, we can have A go back one. B gets out of the way, and then A go all the way back. Okay, good grief. Now I wonder... Now we definitely have to have the riveter to get the center, the cockpit / camera in, okay. So I was gonna say, we can get the wheels on with a welder, so I was wondering if we could reuse the welder for the spoiler for the wheels, but we still need a riveter to get the cockpit in. So at the minimum we need a welder and a riveter. I wonder what my dad will say when I tell him I'm making cars over here. I mean, not real cars, but still. Why, is he a fan? Well, he worked for a car company himself for quite a long time. An American car company. I hope he isn't mad about our competitively priced exports. No, it's not like that. I'm pretty sure the company was in bad shape long before all the trade stuff. Well, I hope that when your father sees the quality and care put into the cars his son worked on, he understands why you decided to come to Japan. You're talking about this toy car like it's a real car. There we go. Minimum costs, maximum time. Pachinko Machine. Try and see if you can guess what we're making next. Oops, I saw it already. It's a Pachinko Machine. Sorry to ruin your surprise, but I couldn't help but notice the parts when they came in this morning. But you could smell it. Heh, that's okay. I should have known I couldn't keep it a secret from you. Wow, you even got special art for it? That's right, in today's competitive world, we need every advantage we can get. In the future, we might be able to incorporate displays into the machines or even make them speak. Imagine if players could interact with their favorite characters while they play. Naturally, they would choose to do that, right? That does sound like it would be a lot of fun. Sometimes it feels like Yosuke is thinking 10 years ahead of everybody else. Oh wow. Alright, so feature. Oh no, this is taking The flipping game to the extreme. We need to cut 2 and 2, leaving 1 on either side so we can rivet these in. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 3 along the bottom here for the seashells, for the holes. And then 1 up above that for the tulips. No, these are hole A? Hole A. These are the tulips. Okay, so at the very least, we need to flip this. Let's see what the back of this looks like. Is it marked conveniently for us? A flip. I don't know if we can use the pegs as guides. So we're definitely gonna need horizontal and vertical tracks. Try to compact this as much as possible. So we want to start our cutting here. That is inside our area. Perfect. Although I'm wondering if we want to do this further up. So if we start this like here. So if we do this, then we can go 1, 2, 3, right? That's what we need for this. This is actually going to be between the pegs right here. And the problem is now we can't reach this from B, so we actually need this to be over here, but even further back. Give me some space, give me some space. All right, so that's all the interior that we need. So now we need to get all this crap positioned in here properly before we flip back over. With the added trouble that we need to rivet the interior pieces into place one at a time before adding more stuff in. So you're going to need to be rotating this in and out of this space. The feature does not have a 1 square wide connection to the outside, so it can't be riveted. But what we can do is, if we can assemble this outside first, so get our shells down here at the bottom, if we can assemble, rivet, and weld or whatever, this whole interior piece into one piece, then slide this into the center, and then just flip the frame on top of the assembled interior piece, then we can rivet through one of these 2 sidewalls here, that's only 1 wide. So the main issue is going to be positioning all of these pieces somewhere where they can be grabbed by one of these 2 arms. That's not a space that is going to be, that gets occupied by the frame while it's being cut. So basically this whole top right quadrant here. And we can fit this in here, but we can't fit this in here. Unless we can be cheeky about this and put this somewhere where we can grab it with the frame and slide it somewhere where we can grab it. So these can all go here. Alright, so what if we slide A over, no grab, to say here. Flip it. And move this back over here. Now we do have to do it twice, which is somewhat annoying. Okay, so now I have them both. I retract them to here. I still can't grab them. So we'll go, yeah, we'll pull that down there, and then we'll extend by 1. No grab. Go to the right and flip. B, you need to be out of the way, baby. B, no grab. All the way down. Get out of the way. So I don't know where I'm gonna put this yet, but I can at least slide over now. So we'll take A, go this way, no grab. Extend maximum. The other issue is where the hell are we gonna put any kind of riveting in here? If it's gonna go anywhere, it's gotta go here. Or no, here. So we pull this back, slide this here. We have B come up here and flip. Fine, whatever. We just need some space here that I can slide these things over to arm A. So then we'll slide B back down with no grab. We need shell is the next thing that would get welded on here. So we'll grab a shell. Push it forward. 2, 3. Ah, fuck. Well, hang on. We're not done yet. We're not out of options yet, so we can pull B back with no grab. We can just keep pushing out the things that we need. Grab that, and then slide it over to here. We're gonna find out just how long this step tracker goes. And while this is happening, so B pushes that out. B can withdraw with no grab. Slide over, slide back. Extend all the way. And A can come back with no grab. Extend 1. Bring it back. Pull it back. Slide over. So there's 1 weld chunk. So we need tulip. Shell, 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 tulip. Yeah, we can push that out. That's not a big deal. Okay. So we push this out. A grabs it. We can have B pull back at the same step. B. Pull back, no grab. B slide down 2. Grab one of these. Pull it up. Push it out. And then we can just pull it back in. There's our weld, so now A can come back and grab this. But no grab. Send 1. Come back. Pull it in. No grab. Give me some space. Push out. Slide over 1 and then slide over 1 again. Double weld. And while that's all going on, B can pull this back. and slide it down one to get out of the way. Because now we're gonna have to try to get this other tulip down here. The problem is, I think the only reason I was able to slide that first one down that far was because I had the second one in there on top of it to push it down. This might get us somewhere. Pull in. Oh, if this wasn't here, we need to get this out of the way now. So we need this in this position to get this. So we know it's possible to bring this down, because if I can bring this down, if this wasn't here, I could bring this down 1, 2, which would put this in range of the grabber. Hell, if we bring this down just 1, it would be in range of the grabber. So I wonder if we do that before we do all this. So we're gonna have to delete a whole bunch. We need to push this out. Push this out 1 and bring it down to here. And then A needs to extend 1 to be able to intercept that. And now A can drag this over to here and flip. Was that it? Like this. Okay, so this is, we can grab it this way. We just need to we need to put this somewhere. So let's pull A back. Oh my god, this is so much work. Pull A back. Go here. Slide you out of the way. Slide you back into position. Like here-ish? May have to adjust that, but extend. Then go this way and pull it back as much as you can. Okay, so now that is in range for us to grab. We now have to get the frame out of the way. The problem is I can't flip this with this the way like this. Unless I hand this off to B. Oh my god. Push it forward 1, slide to the right 1. Now B can grab it. B, pull this back. Out of the way. Because we need to put A in a position somewhere where we can flip this like this. Okay. So now we can move this frame up and out of the way while keeping the drill inside this area. So A can go over 1. Up 1. So this can sit here. We have enough room here to pass all of our parts through. Over to here. If we really needed to, we could grab B and have B move this a little bit further out of the way, because we do need actually enough room to pass this piece through here, so we're probably gonna have to do that. So let's get B in position. No grab. We're up to step 60 and we haven't even made our first weld yet. 60, 61. Okay, that's as far as I can get the frame out of the way. So we're gonna need a welder and a riveter. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna need 2 riveters. We're gonna need a vertical riveter to get this piece connected to the bottom, the 2 tulips and the 3 shells. We're gonna have to rivet the bottom of the shells into this piece to get it connected to that. We'll build it as we go. Okay, so we get this out of the way. Actually, instead of using that piece, hang on. So B, instead of going forward 2, actually goes back 2, and then forward 2. And then A only has to go to here. And then to here. Grab it. Pull it back. Okay, there's the full bottom part. Okay, so we've got this bottom part. Now I need B to grab this and push it into somewhere A can grab it. So we can put this here, B, no grab, pull to here, B go down, B go forward, here, then B extend fully, so pull this forward. Oh no. It's not enough room. Hang on. I think we can still make it work though. Oh, this is gonna be such a ridiculously dumb exchange here. Okay, so we slide this down as much as we can, and then we bring B back up to the top here, and then flip B. Okay, that's enough room, so we don't have to do all the crazy shit. Okay, so let's get rid of all this. Go away. Go away. All right. Six. Okay, so those are out of the way. So now B can grab the feature. I swear to God, if this is not the lowest cost option, I'm gonna rip my hair out. So we're gonna grab the feature. We're gonna pull it up by yay much. We're gonna push it forward. Meanwhile, A is going to have, at some point in here, doesn't really matter when. I guess it kind of does, because it has to be after this point. So A is going to drag this here. And then with no grab, go forward again. And with grab, go forward to here, and then B's gonna slide this down into that little dip. B, slide it in. Okay, now A is gonna move this back to the riveter. So to here, and then no grab. Boom, okay, so now that's together. So now we need to get these two holes connected. Oh, we need to get one here, use this riveter to rivet this to the side of this. And then we need to flip the hole and this and rivet it to the other side in the same manner. Also, we somehow end up with an accidental cut here, I just noticed. Where does that happen? there. Is that gonna be enough? Yes, technically. Okay, we'll just have to refinagle this a bit. So instead of any of this, so B don't extend, B pull back one, and then can you reach it? You can reach it. Okay, so we're saved. All right, every time. I've lost count of how many times we've hit the oh shit, this is not going to work, and then some weird quirky thing that takes 10 extra steps gets us out of it. But we're still in it, baby! Alright, so B, extend, while A, with no grab, moves away. So that B can slide down one. And pull, oop, not that. Well, yeah, no. Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. So pull it back. Then with no grab, slide up to here. Push it forward. Slide it down. I wonder if we could rivet this here while we've got this in this configuration. Maybe if B pulls back and B moves with no grab, just moves all the way up. Just get it out of the way. And we put this here. Yeah, so B can slide one of these here, and then well, to move this whole assembly up, put one of these here. And then A can grab it, slide it over, chunk, and then take it away. Okay, so that works. So then with no grab, get out of the way, because now A is gonna grab this. Oh, poop. Can we salvage this? Yes. Yes, we can. This is gonna be a little bit funky. That's gonna have to be there. And we're gonna have to do some flipping. Grab one of these, pull it down to here. Flip it. No grab, just get out of the way so that A can come in. Oh. We got it, okay. So we can get the other one on there. It's just going to be a matter of, can we get this piece back inside this piece? We have to get this out of the drill and onto this with one flip or two flips. I need B to push it to here, but then A still can't grab it. So to here. Yeah. So B push out. And then A flip again. Okay, so B push out. And then pull back. With no grab. And then move. Well, hang on. First, B needs to flip it first. So B, extend, and then flip. And then A can flip this. Pull this back. Slide over one, flip. extend, flip, pulls this back, extend. There we go, okay. And A can slide over here. Okay, we've got a fully assembled piece. So, yep, that looks right. So now we need to flip this back into position, get this over here. We still gonna need another riveter, that sucks. We flip B here, we can't do that. Okay, so we need to turn off 7, flip, then A, flip. Okay, now we're right side up. So we're gonna throw this in here, we're gonna see what our final score is. So A, slide this out of the way to like here. And flipping. So now we need a 2 flip move to get this off of the cutter and onto this. And now we need to figure out our flips. So flip, flip again. There we go, baby. All right, and then this, then we just go over one more. Oh my God. This is absolutely mad. It's just absolutely going out into the wilds on some of these maneuvers here. Good grief. All right. Most of the products I've worked on here have been international, so it's interesting that Pachinko has stayed in Japan. You'd think they could find audiences abroad like video games have. Maybe, but there are many things about Pachinko that are specific to this country. You would need to make some big adjustments for it to succeed elsewhere. Yeah, you'd probably have to change the theme of the machines and how the prizes work. And you would need to learn how to adjust the nails and how to repair the machines. And then you would need to educate everyone on what Pachinko is and how it works so they can enjoy it. Sounds like a lot of work. You could do it. When you go back home, you could start the first American Pachinko parlor. Back to America? That's right, I haven't even started thinking about that. Okay, we did come in cheaper than anybody else. So I'm happy with that. We're not gonna go refinagle that. Maybe if once I'm done with the game and I go on the Steam forums and see what the lowest person is, if it's underneath mine by just a bit, I could go and swap that around. But I think that's a pretty competitive, if ridiculous, way to get that at minimum cost. So let's go back to the menu. Interesting places. Dear David, thank you so much for the handbag. It's really lovely. I have to admit, it's so nice that it makes me feel a little self-conscious carrying it around town. You don't see many people around here with bags like that, and I wouldn't want anyone thinking I'm from New York or something like that. I'll certainly use it for so special occasions, though. It's very beautifully designed. Who's the designer, if I may ask? Life certainly takes you to some interesting places, doesn't it? If you had asked me where my child would be 10 years ago, there is no way I would have said helping to create a clothing line, and such a fashionable one, no less. I read that, thanks to the way the economy is going in Japan, Gucci, Dior, and all the other big fashion names have opened dozens of stores there. Is that true? I remember when we got the Gap here. That was a pretty big deal. I suppose it's not quite the same. Love, Mom. Yeah, the Gap is not quite in the same league as Gucci and Dior. Arcade game. Is this gonna fill out? I guess that's one of the advantages of not having the Pachinko minigame is you get more puzzles. What kind of game do you think we should put in this arcade cabinet? Maybe some kind of spaceship game? You know, pew pew! It sounds pretty basic. I suppose that kind of thing is always popular though. How about a game with witches, wizards, and magic spells? That's also been popular lately. How about you, Yosuke? What game would you like to see, Mr. Know-It-All? Poo-pooer of other people's ideas? Me? I don't know, an underwater theme might be interesting. Oh, there's an idea. How does one go about making a game anyway? Good question. You see, we have a guy. Well, it's not really your department to be making the games. You're designing, well, you're not even designing the cabinet, you're manufacturing the cabinets. All of this gets done way up chain before you ever get involved. Okay, guys, I'm back. It was getting too late last night and I had to be somewhere early this morning, so I called it, but we're gonna pick up where we left off with arcade game. Let me drag these bits back out here so we can see what we gotta do here. So we have two of these body pieces that need to have their sides chiseled out so we can put them around a screen. And then to do that, one of them is going to have to be flipped horizontally and vertically, right? If we do A and then B. Yeah, now we've got this in the other direction, okay. So we're gonna have to cut these out one at a time and then clamshell them around the screen. But first, we're gonna have to assemble these arcade joystick panels down here at the bottom and I guess rivet them or weld them. We could do if we do a horizontal weld, we can then do a vertical weld here, or we do a riveter, and the riveter can be reused. We'd have to get the riveter inside here though and rivet through one of these width frame elements. And then if we could somehow get this screen combo underneath this riveter, we would then be able to rivet through the top and then get the screen riveted on there on both sides, so that's an option. Otherwise, we just need a horizontal and a vertical welder, so if we can weld this, our fully assembled panel, which will actually come back to here, because it's going to be panel, joystick, button, button, panel. So we weld these together, then we weld this whole assembly to this piece, and then we'll have an entire half of it. And then we have to do that a second time, but with this piece flipped horizontally and vertically. So some interesting things going on there. So we might have to have 3 tracks for this. Something like this. And then C could be grabbing these one at a time. No, that's not right. It will have to be down like this. Like this. And then C would... pulleys down 2, and then over 1, 2. And then back to here to grab the joystick. Up to... down to over 2, and then just do that, pull the one down, put it into weld, and then on the output of this, if we stretch this all the way, we would have one of the 2 joystick halves, or joy control panel halves. And we would have to toss that or hand that up to some other arms up here that are doing work on this bit. This bit I am more concerned with. This is easy down here. This is going to be interesting. Now I noticed that this only actually has to get cut to a depth of 3, which means we could actually do this with a drill. The drill will reach all the way in here. And we would not need a cutter, so we wouldn't have to do any crazy flipping like you have to do with the Pachinko board. We would just need... we either need a track here with D on it facing this way, or we need B to flip this piece and cut it both times. But we know we're going to need something here, because we're going to need something to be able to grab the output of this and move it up. So if we do this whole thing here, so C, we'll go back, no grab to grab a button now, and then do this, copy, grab a button, slide it over to here, and then repeat. And then kind of repeat, except we'll just change the numbers a bit. So we're going to go forward 1, grab, and then 1. So there's 1/2 of our control panel. So that's going to need to slide over to here at the very least, and then extend out, something like this. And this needs to be grabbable by another arm here. So either an arm that comes down to here, like so, and can bring this up or push it out or do something with it here, or here, and then we have more stuff. We basically, instead of doing it in this orientation, we're doing it over here. Let me move this. So you have like a cutter here. This gets pulled up and pushed out. Let's see, we would need this to be pushed out to here, right? Because this is going to line up like this. So that's still not far enough. We have to go here. And then we would need a welder. Like here? So A would be able to grab this, drag it up here, push this out. That would put this joystick here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I guess we could just do it like this instead of having to slide this down one after that. So just sliding this in here would weld this here, and we could have D doing something here, and probably also a B hiding up here, because something we are going to need to rotate this around B in order to get this opposite mirrored facing on the other side. So we can flip. Oh, no, we don't need to be here because A, well, I mean, A can technically flip this. So we'd have to drag this down first and then flip it. So we don't actually need this here. But we do need something to flip it vertically, or I guess horizontally in this case. So B, we need something to flip around this axis, around the vertical axis, but it's flipping it, I guess, horizontally. You know what I mean. So this will need to be on a track, most likely. Well, absolutely, because we're gonna need to move these things back and forth, because we're gonna have to flip this around, move it over here, and then somehow we're gonna have to get this. This can go over the top of this welder here. We just have to get it. If we put it here, C can almost like this. It's like this. C can grab this and move it this way, and it's going to squeeze in between both of these welders. Good. And A can drag it up to here, and then B can grab it and move it this way. So we can move this around, which is good. The only issue is going to be we need to be able to get D out of the way. Otherwise, we'll have to have B flip over the top of D in order to get these pieces to go this way. So let's see. Let's rewind. So we're building this. So we're pushing this piece up. And then A, we're gonna be, while that's going on, we're probably gonna be have D cut this interior piece out. So we'll start D, just start D at the top, right? And then have D extend. 1, 2, 3. And then back 3. And then forward 1, and then we'll just copy this, copy, paste. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. And one more time, copy, paste. So that's fully cut out. And then, let's see, if we want this first one, this doesn't have to go to the right, so we want this first one to be the one that gets flipped horizontally and vertically, which means before we weld this onto it, we're gonna have to flip this horizontally. So we actually need C to, before C pushes it up, we'll do no grab, go here, do a flip, there we go, and then extend 1, 2, 3. And I don't think A has done anything at this point, so A, first off, will need to flip. A's gonna have to start here. So A can probably flip this on this step here. And then A with no grab can come down here. Then C's gonna push this up. Oh, I didn't know you could right click and drag this down here. That would have been a lot easier. And then A's gonna bring this up to here and then extend maximum length. Actually, I guess we can just do it all as far up as we need it to go, all in one step, right? So we bring it up to here and then push this forward. And now just to see this is going to impact, but if we have B flip this around, this is now our right half of this the way that it needs to be, right? We've got panel, joystick, button, button, panel. So now we have another issue though, is that we can't actually move B this way. No, maybe. Because B can be moved back. Has B actually done anything yet? No, so B can actually get pulled back. To say here. So B can... that back one more. So if we have B pull all the way back, That kind of works, or we still have the issue that D is completely in the way. So we could resolve that. This can be made longer, right? If we can move D down 1. Then the issue with that is if we move D back 1 so that D can move down and hide behind this. First off, we wouldn't need this to be this long. We'd only need to be this long, because D will never need to go up above this. But the main issue now is that when D fully extends, it doesn't reach all the way in to cut this out, unless we have A push this in. I guess we could do this, right? We could do this. Okay, now we can slide things around. So D, at some point in this whole mess, after, say, this, D pulls back. Now D's going to get out of my way. So now B can slide this all the way over here, and then go forward a bit. And then continue to get out of the way, right? And then at some point, we have a welder here. So once C hands this off, now C can go back, copy C, -3 with no grab. Well, -1. Then C can go grab another panel. So we're going to repeat our construction here. So C is going to pull back 2, slide over -2. Slide forward with no grab to here. Extend 2. Retract. Weld. Copy paste. Extend. Retract. Slide 3. Then repeat. Then copy 1, copy to here, weld. And while all this is going on, we have to have, see at what point, so not until this step, can we bring D back in. So now D can slide back up here. And now we can do this whole step again. So D full extend, copy paste. There we go. And then gets out of the way. And at this point, so when we get to here, weld, now we have C. Go to here and extend, so that's ready to be grabbed by A. And A needs to be getting into position, so A is going to fully withdraw. And then move back up again, and then fully extend. Now we have a weld, and now we have a problem. Kind of. So we know this can squeeze through these gaps. We just need to find... This needs to get pushed out of the way a bit so that this can be moved into the middle of these two clamshell pieces and then sandwiched. Okay, so we've hit a dead end. So let's roll back a bit. So the issue is that we need to get the screen ahead of this other panel. So this is like one linear conveyor belt moving through here, right? And the issue is that we need to get the screen in between these two pieces, but as it stands right now, the screen is behind this second panel piece. So we're getting stuck trying to move this out of the way enough to move this position in the queue so it's second instead of third. So what if is there a way for us to go back to when this gets spawned and hold it, prevent it from spawning until we can pass this up through here, and then we can socket this in here, scoot it forward a bit, and then do this. So let's find out where in the timeline that gets done. So right here, can we select enough of this? This is going to be a long selection. I don't even remember what number we're up to. Okay, can we select all of this? And move it up just as much as we can see. And then in this time, so B flips, B moves forward to here, just enough to stop that from spawning. If we move A so that its arm is in this space, let's move A up to here. And now if B moves, I guess it's not at the same time. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, so like that. And now if B moves again to the other two to its total 9 that it moved before. Okay, so we keep this from spawning. So we're gonna have B put this in his spot, and then because we need A to come down here and grab this stuff that C's working on, we'll have to put C's stuff back in line here. But we'll use D to intrude on this zone while A is coming down to grab this. So all we have to do is keep this from respawning until we can assemble this joystick bit, scoot it over here, grab this screen, pass it back through like we were doing before, socket it in, and then we can construct this, and then there's no fancy maneuvering we have to do. We can just cut this out, socket or weld the control panel onto it, and just slide it into place. So that is going to be 100 times easier than the nonsense we just went through trying to work around that. Yep, okay. So now, C goes over, grabs this, pull it back, 1, slide up, like so, and then B can come and grab this, and then extend. There we go. And now B can slide this over, slide forward enough that D has the clearance to move up and down here. So once this happens, we also want A to withdraw and D to withdraw. And now we can take all of this mess, chop, 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 chop. Okay, so while all this is going on, A and C can conspire again to get this back up here, then come down to get the joysticks, back up to here, extend for a weld. We're so close. Then move this up to here. And now all B has to do is slide it together. This is the moment. And then slide forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're done! Incredible. I have a feeling we're not going to be super crazy optimized for cost this time, because we did wind up with 4 different tracks and arms. But we will see. I just want to see this playthrough once. It's a bit musical, honestly. All right, continue the story. Our ace game programmer actually works for a different company, but we have an arrangement with them to pay for his time. They don't mind you borrowing their employee? It doesn't really seem like they do, which is good for us because he's very good at programming games. They have one guy making their games. Why doesn't this company have him programming games for them too then? Possibly because they're a bank. Oh, well, I can see how making games might be a fun break from working on bank software. Maybe, but you should see him when he's deep into programming his next game. From the way he looks and the hours he keeps, you might think that bank software is his fun break. Yeah, we did not get optimized for costs. Sad. This one, I think, this is the first one that I felt is really complex enough that your layout, like the way that you actually approach bringing all these pieces together, will dramatically affect how many arms and such you need. I think it's still quite possible we could do this with maybe without D, the D cutter or the D track, and just a cutter. But man, having to flip those things around that cutter to move them through that space, because we use all of this space to slide things through. I don't know, this episode is already going to be way over time. Like, so far, just on the first few puzzles, I've already got almost 4 hours in. This is another hour and a half. Yeah, I'm not going to bother trying to hyper optimize this. Let's just close the puzzle and move on.
This is amazing.
Yep.
You really made an
Get him out to
entire
the
amusement
arcade.
center from almost nothing.
I really think this is just the first step. Ever since we made that handheld game together, I've been convinced that electronic entertainment will only grow in importance. In the future, places like this will become even bigger and better. True temples to entertainment.
Until modern times, when now they're all starting to close
You
down.
really have a strong vision, don't you? It makes me feel like asking if there's anything else I can do.
For now, why don't you enjoy yourself? And please accept this as a token of my appreciation. I couldn't have done this without you.
This is
Pants!
a pair of jeans?
It seems like it would have been a more appropriate gift from Namba.
That's right. Kurashiki, a little southwest of here, has an area called Denim Street, featuring a handful of local denim makers. People associate jeans with America, or being a cowboy or whatever. But Japanese-made jeans are some of the best you'll find anywhere. Try them on, and you'll see.
Thanks, Yosuke. These are great. But wait, how did you know my size?
I asked Namba-san, of course.
Of course.
Uh-oh. Namba-san has my measurements too.
Don't worry. I'm sure she won't use that information for anything.
Don't
nefarious.
worry, I didn't give you anything.
So, do you know where you're headed next?
Nowhere, as far as I can tell.
They assigned me to the bar.
Nowhere?
I haven't heard anything, at least. I suppose they could always surprise me.
David, we need you to go to Mars. We're starting a factory there.
I wouldn't even be that surprised.
A factory on Mars? What would it even make?
Air, maybe? You would need air on Mars.
Wasn't that another... Was that a... Zachtronic game? Space Chem?
Air is important.
I'm glad we agree on this.
A toast to air. for keeping us alive.
Woohoo! I love being able to breathe.
Everybody, let's hear it for air!
You guys are a bunch of nerds.
I'm a little hungover.
Just a little?
Okay, maybe a little bit more than a little.
Well, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Drink some water, I guess?
I mean, what are you going to do next?
Oh, I guess I'll do whatever it is they tell me to do.
At this point, I think you've earned the right to ask for what you want. They might not say yes, but you can ask.
The problem is, I'm not sure what I want.
Could stay in factory design. Somehow I doubt the game is going to let you go into sales because it's a game about factory design. I could ask to keep working in factory design.
I could ask to keep working in factory design, but you know, I'm not sure. I'll have to keep thinking about it.
All right. Oh, there is a chapter 7. And a chapter 8, maybe? Sunset Dream. Spring 1989, Tokyo outskirts.
Welcome back. I hope your last couple assignments weren't too difficult.
Not at all. They were great.
When I got back to Tokyo, Oyama-san met me by the factory where it all started. To think that was 3.5 years ago, time that passed by in a blur. Despite what Tomoe said, I still couldn't think of what to ask for. So I was ready to go along with whatever the company had in mind for my future.
Listen, David, I have something to ask you.
Sure, go ahead.
Not here. Let's go to the driving range. I know your time at Matsuzawa has gone a little differently from what you expected.
That's okay. The idea of joining the sales department feels like it's from a lifetime ago.
We only got to use this background for one scene, so let's reuse it for another.
When you're young, you don't always know your own capabilities. That's why it's good to test yourself in various ways. Sometimes you end up finding something surprising.
Yeah, I guess I was surprised.
My question for you now, David, is this. What do you want to make?
Something I want to make?
I never thought about this before. I've just been a blank slate my entire life with no goals or ambitions.
I never thought about this before.
That's why I'm asking you now. If I said you could use our old factory to make one thing you've always wanted, what would it be?
Well, I've always wanted to ride off into the sunset on a motorcycle.
Well then, why don't you make one?
Make a motorcycle?
You know, a lot of pundits have ideas about why Japan's been such an economic success over the past few decades. Samurai spirit or whatever. I think it's much simpler than that. I don't know about the rest of the country, but at least here at Matsuzawa, we like to make things. That's the real secret. We enjoy it. Do times get tough? Yes, absolutely, but deep down, we enjoy it. We make things, and we constantly try to get better at making things. That's the Matsuzawa spirit.
I see.
Anyway, it would have to be more like a scooter.
Huh?
Your motorcycle. We don't have the parts or tooling for that, but you could make a scooter.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Settle on your dreams. They're gonna assemble an entire automation line to do a one-off scooter for just David? Coincidences. Hey champ, have I got an amazing story to share with you. I remember you mentioned working on some kind of video game gadget a while back. Well, guess what? Uncle Walt was over again the other day and couldn't stop talking about how his kids won't put down their gosh darn video games, even when they're called to dinner. He had a whole tirade about how the Japanese were getting revenge on us by conspiring to make games so addictive they zap the brains of our children. Just wait till they go after your wallet with gacha games too. They're stealing a whole generation away from us, he said. I had to laugh, but he didn't think it was funny at all. I had a suspicion, so I asked him the name of the terrible toy that had so addled the brains of his boys. And wouldn't you know it, it was the Matsuzawa Duo Screen. I decided not to tell him my son made it, even though I was sorely tempted. He probably would have never recovered. With your experience now, you could probably find a position almost anywhere you wanted next. Or you could stay with the friends you've made in Japan, or even come back here. Not that there's much to do in South Bend these days. Whatever you decide to do, we want you to know we're proud of you. All the best, Dad. Aw, thanks, Dad. Motor scooter. Whoa, what do you got going on in here? What's it look like? I'm making a motor scooter. Did someone tell you Matsuzawa has to turn into a car company too? No, this was my own silly idea. Ha! You've changed, David. Really? Yeah. When you first showed up, you would have been like, a scooter? There's no way I could make one. Yeah, I guess I was kind of like that. I'm just a poor little guy with an international business degree. I don't know anything about anything. Alright, you don't need to go that far. Motor scooter. Oh my god, look at all these parts. They're huge! They're humongous! Alright, I'm restarting after my first attempt, and I'll probably cut it from the final version because it's already going to be a really long runtime on this, and I don't want to add another hour to it. But essentially, I got to the very last step. I got the entire piece, the entire scooter combined. Basically, it came down to just having two halves of the scooter, and then I realized at the last minute when I was bringing the two halves of the scooter together that, let me put these in here, this weld here, this weld right here, this piece going to this piece has to be done first before you do anything else, because once you weld this on, the front half of the scooter and the back half of the scooter can no longer be put together, because you cannot put a rivet into this and you cannot put a weld on this. So I pushed myself into a dead end, so I'm having to restart. So let me go ahead and put all the pieces back out here, and we're going to try a different approach. So the wheel in the front is here, seat goes here, tail signal back here, headlights up here, pivot goes there, panel goes here, handle, and that should be everything. So you essentially have to assemble this as 3 separate pieces, or at least my initial attempt was to do this in 3 separate parts and then bring these 3 parts together. But since we know that we can't connect this part to this part, we're gonna have to do this way first, and then we're gonna have to manage this really weird S-shaped piece for the rest of the build. But we can go ahead and start with that, so we can weld this as our first movement, our first step in the game, and then I can start reproducing our individual assembly lines here. So I guess we'll start up here. I don't remember exactly how this went together, but I have a rough idea. So at the start, we're gonna have to have something that can flip this and move it a bit. We have to take 1 notch out of the back here, and we have to take 2 chunks out of the top here. So we can do that either by flipping it and using the cutter, or we can, I guess you could put a longer track on it and then use a drill here to simply cut down into this. I think this puzzle is going to be a bit too much, a bit too complex for me to really nickel and dime it to death to try to optimize for cost. So I'm not going to fret too much about having to add some extra pieces as long as it gets us to a complete puzzle. But I will, since I know this can be done with just a single drill because I just did it, we're going to start with that. So I believe our first step is going to have to be to move this back 1 in order to cut that notch for the handlebar. And then if we flip this, I think it's going to be, yeah, a bit, well, actually, A would have to move forward 1 first. So A, let's go no grab, then forward, then flip, no, other way around. So A, flip, A go forward, then A move back. There we go, and then A extend 1, and there's our cutout for the headlights. So now we need to get this in the correct orientation. Let's have A slide back forward and do another flip. And now we can put this in a position to put the pieces on. So I think if we just move this down 1 more and then push it back, perhaps 2 more, let's see. So we'll do a push. We do have to flip it, yeah, because the other pieces that it's merging into are in a certain orientation, so we have to match that orientation. So if we push it again, And one more time. There we go. And now we can bring this back. If we put this here, we can put this in a position to attach to that. And we can do that either, well, we have to do it with a riveter. There's only one way that we can do that. So that's going to get riveted there. And I don't think there's a way that I can reuse this riveter with this piece, because I don't have a way to slide this piece around unless I put another arm and another track. So I can save money on that by just putting a second riveter. Where would that go? But as soon as I bring this down here, we're in trouble. So this doesn't have to be here. This is omnidirectional, so this can actually go over here. So we put this into position here, and then if we flip it, and then this is going to need to be this way anyway, because we need to bring this forward and into this headlight piece, right? So I don't think we can... No, we can technically bring this back one. We do run into the issue that I can't pull this back up now, or we're going to chop that handle off. So this actually does need to go either forward one, or we just scoot this whole thing forward like this. So then, instead of doing a flip, we can just drag this forward to here. In which case, we would also need... Can we drag... Well, no, because this is where it needs to be, so we would do a riveter here as well. Right? Slide forward, click, and there we go. Now we have a fully assembled... whatever you call this, the steering wheel, the steering column, right? We have a 1 square space here, and then 2 squares for the handlebar and the headlight. Yep. Okay, so that's fully assembled, and we can kind of drag this around wherever we need it to go without affecting the actual construction. Because we do need to find now somewhere where we can position this where it can be slid down and onto... So we have to bring this up one, go over, and then drop this down onto this assembly here. So let's visualize that real quick. So we get this assembled, so then we have to pull A up one, and slide it over. Quite a bit more, actually. Here, go back. I wish you could grab this track controller from underneath. So it would have to go, yeah, to the very end to give us enough clearance to drop this, or to get this over the riveters. And then we can extend it again, but it's not going to get us all the way into position for this most likely, but we have it pushed down as far as it'll go, and now we can turn our attention elsewhere. So our first step here is gonna be, we have to chop this front bit out here so that the wheel could fit up against this. So we just have a 1 width long, hold this back, a 1 width long column of front end here that we can rivet through. So we're gonna start by having to cut this. So we'll put a track here. Say yay long for the moment, although we may extend this more like this and then put another arm up here so that we can grab the assembled piece and maybe have to pull it up into position to lock in on this steering column here, the steering wheel. So we'll start out here by going B, extend, 2, and let me just double check this. We have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we have to go here. So extend by 2, and I wish we could just go down 5, but we do have to hold back 2 first, and then slide down 1, and then we can repeat this 5 times. And there we go. Now we've got the front end cut out, and we have to get B out of the way so that this can be connected to this. So now we have to tell B, actually it's already in here, so instead of 1, we'll do -6. And now we need something to push this wheel into this. And we'll have a riveter, I guess, here. So we can put this as close as we can possibly get it. And then have an arm here. And so the next step would be to have D push. 2, 3. Actually, we can't get enough out of that. Or instead of pushing, I'm overcomplicating this. I'm overthinking it. We just have a track. Since we can't push more than 3, but we can move horizontally more than 3. We'll just have D slide 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess this would be negative. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And now we have a snap. And that completes this junction right here. So this should extend 1, 2, 3 squares below the base. 1, 2, 3. Yep, okay, so that's the correct position for that. So now we've got this constructed. We have this constructed, but I think this will be one of our final moves, is to click this down onto this with a weld, like right here. Right, this goes flush with the inside of the body. So this will actually have to get moved back forward, but that's fine because we have D here. So D can actually move this. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see my finger. D can move this whole construction forward and up to meet up and marry with this. We'll put this here. So that'll be our final move. So what's next? Now we have to get this piece onto this and rivet it. So to do that, so we can't move D forward. And we can't move it back because of this riveter unless we flip this over it, but we're not going to be able to do that because this wheel is not going to hit this. Well, we'll have to do a flip at some point because we have to get it over this riveter. So what happens if I have... What does C flip look like? Not good, although we don't necessarily have to have this in position here yet. Although this does hit our eventual welder, but that's solvable by just moving this up, moving this whole, I guess I'll go back to the beginning here, moving this whole assembly up, and then we can just have another arm here, grab this and move it down, so that's not the end of the world. Just add some more parts onto our build. Okay, so that just barely gets us enough room to flip it, but it does not give us enough room to move it. What if we do D-flip? Let's extend this some more. Unless we just have something else over here ready to flip this. Back again, so like, if we do E-flip. So now we've got more space to work with, and we can move all this over here somewhere, right? I guess we could just start with a river here. I don't know why I'm overthinking it. So that'll be the first move there. Yeah, that affects nothing. So now we can flip that with impunity. So now we'll socket this on here, flip it. E can flip it again. Or we can flip it, and then D can move it over some. We're gonna blow our area up a bit. Wait, D flip. D move forward a couple, and then this part is the most annoying. I don't know, we may not have to put this out here, but while we're, in fact, we can even undo this for a bit since we've solved the issue with the main column here. So we know at this point all this is together. So let's focus on this for a bit, because this is one of the more annoying parts, because all these have very subtle ways that they will not come together properly. So for example, you cannot put the seat on until you cut this back square out for this piece, because you need this. You can't get a riveter through it because it's too thick, and there's a lip here, so you can't put a welder on it here. So the only place you can get a weld on this is between this square here and this square here, after this has been cut out. but it's somewhat obnoxious because you also have to have clearance to get this into that square, that 2x2 square there. But also, you need to have the rest of the back end clear because this needs to get this needs to get more notches cut out of the back. Oh no, this piece needs to get 1 notch cut, and then this needs to go, I want to say here, and then yeah, lines up with that like that. So there's just a lot of stuff in the way back here, and things have to come together in a very specific way. So I guess let's start with a track and maybe a drill. This only has to go forward 2, so let's go back to the beginning here. We have 2 more rows down here, so we can go E, go forward twice, drill that out, and then ultimately this whole thing will need to get slid. Well, it'll have to get slid up, but we can't slide it up because of these riveters. So we may have to just drill this in the back and then worry about attaching these other bits when it gets over to the other side. So if we do just this, so E, drill, E, retract, E, slide down 1, and then E, repeat. So then that is cut and ready to be slid into place over here. Well, I wonder, well, this can't be not socketed, but it can't be riveted onto here because of this welder. So this will have to get attached once we move it out of the way. I don't know where that is going to be yet. So C hasn't done anything, so if I take C away, and then I have C flip here, what does this look like? So to get this clear, we would need to move it up 1, 2, 3. No, more than that for this piece. Unless we had something else here, also flip it. That's probably as close as I'll get to clearing C there. Okay, so flip, flip. And then we can have this. No? Okay, so you'd actually have to have F farther up. There we go. Flip, flip. And then we can have this. We can pre-cut this, right? We don't need... Okay, so this lux has to be cut up here, which is fine. So we can have... No, it wouldn't even need to be a track. It would just need to be... No, a track would actually be cheaper, wouldn't it? We could do like this, and then just do an arm and a cutter, which is cheaper. We need a welder to weld this in place, so that is actually going to complicate things a bit. So we need to have this in place by the time this gets here. That's our goal. But to start, we're going to have to move it around a bit. So we're going to have to move it to cut this bit. So go up by 2, because the welder is going to need to be something like this, I think. We put a riveter here. So that when this slides into place, it gets riveted. So G needs to be able to Move this back to cut. Move it forward, and then slide this down to fill that gap. So it would actually look something like this. So we would start with G. Well, I guess we could start this extended. So G actually pulled back by 3. Then G go forward 2. 2. Pull back 2, go forward 2. Then without grab, go back 2. And slide up. One more actually, so we put this down, put this up, go up 5, extend, then go down 1. Oh, wait, no. Wrong direction, hang on. Recalibrating, so we actually need to put this down more. This here, so we need to grab it, move it up twice. So we can accomplish the same thing if we start G down 1 more, right? So pull it back, push it forward. We don't need to withdraw, we just need to go 1, 2, or go 1, and then go forward, and then go 1, and then go forward. There we go. Except do it with grab on, and then do the opposite. So go up 1 with no grab, and then go forward 1 to put that back into its original position, but with the tail lights attached. So that now when this flips into place, okay, so now that is all one assembly. Now, the next pain in the butt is that this needs to go here. So this also needs to get welded and then moved out of the way. Let's go back. So this needs to get welded to this. Oh no, that can't happen. That weld can't happen until this moves into place here. So this needs to get welded here. And then this can be put on. But that means we have to move everything again. So F would need to be on a track so that it can be moved out of the way. So once this happens, F is gonna go no grab, F, get out of the way, and then we need something to move things around. So take another arm, H. And this is going to need to be able to push 2 past this. So if we put this like here, we're going to need H. Once F moves out of the way, H is going to have to, I guess we'll start back up here again. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Slide. What are we hitting? Oh, the riveter balls. Well, hang on. What if we put this riveter here? H will have to start up 1. This will have to be out of the way. We will have to perhaps move where this track runs. But now if G moves up here with a grab, we should get a weld there. Okay, so now this is all one piece. And now we can move... H can move forward. So we'll go back to the top here. H, move forward 3. And then retract with no grab. Then slide backward with no grab. Grab this, then back forward, then extend to here. And retract one, slide forward, then retract one. Now we get a weld on that. And if we can put this in a position where it ends with that. I don't have a start button, so I messed something up somewhere. Let's see. Oh, this is up one. I just noticed that. Where does that get put in? Down here. Ah, yes, here. Okay. So that is wrong. I don't know why I thought that was that was the way to go. Okay. So let's see. When this gets flipped up, can that be put in here? What's gonna be the best place to attach this? So let's go back to the beginning. Let's remove this riveter and this piece. And then we'll have to slap this on somewhere up here. So we know it has to go up one, and then it's slid forward 3. So we should be able to put this here. Good. But we cannot put a riveter on it yet, because the riveter would go off here. We don't want that. Well, hang on. What if we put it here? And we put the riveter, where you at, boy? Put the riveter here. And then we let that upward push it into place, then get riveted. There we go. And assuming nothing else gets in the way, when we get to here, we have a green good light. Product complete. Okay, so no way that's going to be minimum cost, but like I said, this is complex enough that I'm not too concerned about it. I just wanted to get it done. So let's see, start. It's actually a bit too tall to even see it all on the screen. Probably would have been better to have this spaced out horizontally than vertically, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm not sure if this is how other companies make their motor scooters, but if it works, looks like it's working to me. Yeah, wow. Impressed with yourself? Maybe a little. You should be. Not just anyone can do this kind of thing, you know. If Matsuzawa starts a motors division because of this, you'll know who they'll want to run it. Which would be a key position to be in as Matsuzawa Kaicho searches for the promising young man who will inherit the reins to his empire. Oh, stop. I can't think about this stuff right now. Sorry. Yeah, we didn't quite hit lowest cost, but we got close. Pretty low area, too, so I'm satisfied with that. I don't need to be the best. Let's go back to the menu here. To make things.
I think I know what I want finally. It's this. The satisfaction of making something, learning from that, and getting better at it, and then making something even better. What could be more satisfying than that? It's not going to be sales, that's for sure.
Now you're talking.
Upper management broke you, David.
David,
Yeah?
I'm glad. I'm glad you're going to keep making things. Somehow, I don't know. I just didn't think you were the type to be a salesman.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Tomoe. I didn't think you had what it takes to be a salesman.
No?
No. I don't think your strength is reading people.
Are you saying I miss signals sometimes?
Uh-oh.
Sometimes, yes, you do.
I see.
I've been throwing signals at you since you got here. We stood there for a while, taking in the scene. It was a crisp, clear afternoon, and the sun was just starting to set. For the first time since I came to Japan, I felt like maybe, just maybe, I knew what I was doing.
Say, Tomoe, need a ride?
I thought you'd never ask.
There you go, David, my boy. They ride off into the sunset. Oh, that's it. Let's roll credits. Developed by coincidence. Definitely coincidence and not Zachtronics. Sick tunes, Mr. Burns. Alright, so that's full credits. So, assuming that there's nothing after the credits here, no post-credits scene. I was glancing at the voice cast there. Oh, you can't actually skip it. Okay, well, we'll do our outro thoughts over the credits. That's appropriate. So yeah, this is my first Zachtronics game, even though this is coincidence and not Zachtronics, but it's got the spirit of the Zachtronics game, so I'm told. And it's very interesting. I've never done a puzzle game quite like this. I have seen videos of Space Chem. I do feel this is kind of like that style of puzzler, where it's an assembly-based puzzle. This is a more literal assembly-based puzzle, but essentially you're doing the same thing in Space Chem, where you're combining chemicals to create more complex chemicals, and then combining those more complex chemicals. Very much in a different sphere from something like Factorio, which is more combining materials to make higher level materials, but those materials always act as like individual units. You're not really concerned about the size and dimensions of the things that you're combining. So this is almost more like a puzzle in the physical old school sense, where you have an actual like cardboard cutout puzzle and you're trying to fit the puzzle pieces together. So this is a more literal type of puzzle. But yeah, this is my first time doing this kind of puzzler, and it was quite fun. And I definitely enjoyed, even if it may have been a bit frustrating towards some of the later levels, but enjoyed trying to nudge things and remove pieces where they weren't necessary to try to find the most minimal cost. Although I've been checking this out on Reddit and on the Steam forum since I started posting these videos, and it seems like I picked the odd man out. Most people tend to optimize for either the lowest number of moves or the lowest size of the puzzle, so I think I might be unique in trying to get the lowest cost out of it, but that makes it more exciting for me, because that means I can't cheat by looking at other people's solutions, and somebody else is really optimizing for cost at the moment. So hopefully this helps somebody else who decides to go that way in the future. But at any rate, if you enjoyed this playthrough of Kaizen, A Factory Story, hit like and subscribe. If you want to check out Kaizen, A Factory Story for yourself, head on over to Steam and pick it up. And if you want to let me know what you thought of the game, then hit the comments down below. But whatever you do, I will see you right here again in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.